from. So please let us know in the chat whereabouts you're joining the call from today. As I say, we're just going to slowly get set up here and wait for a few more people to roll in. We don't want to start too eagerly. We always have a decent amount of people attending these. So let's wait for a bunch of people to join first. Let's get our presentation up to. Okay, folks, so I think that's probably going to be enough to get going with. There's always a couple of updates I need to go through first, so let's start with those. So first off, as I already mentioned, we are live streaming today's event. That is live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if you do get disconnected, go and check out our social channels. So you will be able to see us there and be able to use the chat functions there to ask us questions as well. We're also recording, so if you do miss anything, you will be able to go to our YouTube channel after the fact and kind of watch it back. So if you miss any exact details, any URLs or anything that we share, you can go and check those out there. So unfortunately today, PC is a little ill, so he's not joining us for any company updates, but we're going to get straight into a couple of new hire updates and then over to product updates from Andrew and Emily. And then we'll have plenty of time for audience Q&A, which I know that everyone loves. So as always, please use the Q&A functionality through the session. If you do have any questions that you want to type out to us, it's easier for us to spot those there than using the chat function. And if you do want to ask your question on stage at the end, you can use the raise hand function. So if you go to the reaction button at the bottom of your screen, there is a raise hand function in there. We'll get to those questions towards the end of the session. And that is my usual spiel over with. So today we're going to kick things off with some new hire updates, and I'm handing over to Emily first. Emily, take it away.
Cool. Thanks, Miles. Awesome. Okay, I've got one person to introduce today and one person to tease out for next time. But first, I'd like to introduce Eric. He is joining the platform team alongside myself and Yarek, who joined a couple of weeks ago. So we're super excited to be filling out this team so we can continue building some really great products, not just for our hosts, but also for our partners. We'll be sharing a little bit more about that in the coming weeks. But until then, Eric, can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you've done previously, maybe throw in something fun too.
Hi, so I'm Eric. I'm based in the UK, so I'm the latest addition to the platform team. So I'm bringing a bunch of experience from companies like Paddle and Cisco with, I suppose, one of my main goals being providing a really fantastic developer experience to anyone looking to integrate with Connect, whether now or in the future. So I'll be working alongside Yarek, who started a few weeks before me. So you'll be seeing some really great work in the coming months on the platform.
Awesome. And we have these little fun, little internal titles that we bestow upon each other. Eric has decided that he's the Chief Sarcasm Officer, but it's actually true. He's got some great sarcasm, so maybe you'll see that in some future town halls. So Eric, thanks. We're super excited to have you on the team.
Thank you.
And then Luke, he is joining us in a couple weeks, so you don't get to meet him just yet, but we'll have him on a future town hall to introduce himself. He'll be joining the core and connectivity team to work on our core product, as well as continue to improve all of our connections with other platforms like Airbnb, Vrbo, and Booking.com. And let's see, now I'll pass it off to Vera to introduce some new additions to her team.
Hey guys, thank you everyone for joining us. As promised, the sales team is growing. We have Evelina and James joining our team. James, I'm not sure if he got lost in the sauce here a bit, because I do not see him on the panel interview here, but
he's here.
He's here. Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah. Good to know. I'm bad with Zoom. We switched to Google Meet, so this is me being old. Anyway, I want to start with Evelina first. Evelina, tell our hosts who you are, where you're from, and what are you going to be doing at Hospitable?
Sure, brilliant. Thank you, Vera. Hello, everyone. So pleased to be here. My name is Evelyn. Evelina is a Polish version, but perhaps Evelyn could be a bit more uniform. Well, super excited to be here. It's my first week learning about meeting these incredible people and learning about the platform. I do have several years of experience in sales. However, I think this product is so far the most exciting one. Mostly since I'm based in Italy on a beautiful island, I'm also thinking of starting my own short vacation rental business. So I think this time a town hall is literally I'm as valuable, at least as valuable to me as it is to you. So yeah, pleased to meet everyone, and well, wish me luck.
You don't need luck, you're already doing great. We have James up next. Also, we want to hear from James as to where he's from, how he landed in Canada, and what he will be doing in sales.
Thank you, Vera. Pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so I am based in Canada, in Montreal, and it was actually love that brought me here. I actually had a Tinder match during the pandemic, and that love actually blossomed and flew me out into Canada 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I am obviously on the sales team. I've got a background in SaaS applications in both sales and support, so really looking to leverage that over to Hospitable. And just like Evelina, actually, I'm really keen to get into the property management business. I've got one property under my name so far, so I just need to grow that portfolio. So I'll be learning just as much from you guys as from myself in that regards. Thanks a lot, Vera.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. You can also probably see that there is Blue here. Blue will be joining us in a couple of weeks. So the soon thing here is due to that, but super happy to actually have the sales team growing to provide more help to anyone that needs to be onboarded, has any questions, you know where to find us. And with that, I'm handing it off to Miles. Go ahead.
Hey, it's me.
It's Andrew.
Okay, the direct part of the evening, we have a milestone to celebrate. So direct premium just surpassed $1 million in bookings. So that's a lot of money saved for our hosts. Yeah, we're feeling pretty confident about the experience so far and building out the new features, as well as what we've been working on recently, which is cleaning a lot of things up, doing a lot of little tweaks here and there. A lot of it based on your feedback from these town halls. So let's take a look at new stuff. You have been telling us you wanted to change the order of how properties appear on your direct sites. We did that. We'll take a look at that in one of the next slides here. But you can now, totally control how your properties are shown on direct sites. We also added house rules recently. So you'll see that in two different places. One, you'll start seeing house rules now getting pulled in from Airbnb. So if you've got an Airbnb listing that is part of that's also connected to your direct listing, you'll see those rules pulled in. You can edit them differently if you want on Hospitable in the property section. And then we're publishing those in the sites. And I think we'll actually, in the near future, start to require hosts to accept them. So we have really a nice opt-in consent to the house rules that you have for your property. We've added a new cancellation policy. This was something a host emailed us about, let us know that the after booking condition, meaning so within 24 or 48 hours after I book, you want to give that person 100% money back guarantee if they cancel. We wanted one more condition on that, so we added that. We'll talk about that in one of the next slides. And then a very small update, but I think some people had added several different payout methods to their direct premium, and then it was kind of confusing which one is which bank account. So we added the last 4 digits. That was something we didn't have that data when we initially started from the payment processor. Now they do provide that through the API. So we did a little update there. So you can see in the image there that we'll add the last 4 digits of your bank account for clarity. So let's take a look at some of those updates. Sorting properties. So it can be different for each direct site that you have. If you have more than one, go to direct, open up the site you want to edit, and there's a properties tab in the left sidebar there. And then we added just those little 6 dots. So that icon on the left, if you hover over that and then click, you can drag and drop your properties, and your site should update just about instantly, and you'll be able to control those. Whatever properties you want to promote, you can move them to the top of your direct site page. Next one. is cancellation policy. So this is the one I was just referring to. We added this second half of the after booking rule. You can tell us how many days out you want to honor that policy. So if you have a last minute booking and you don't want someone to be able to have 100% refund, I think the use case was, yeah, by the time someone books, 2 or 3 days out, I've already contacted a cleaner. I've already done some work. I don't want that person to be able to cancel risk-free. So you can set that parameter now, and we'll remove that condition once we have a check-in, check-out date during the flow, and they'll see that that is not a valid policy for them, to help you guys out with that. And we're actually going to take this same policy and we're going to do this for Instant Book as well. We had, I think, feedback in the last town hall that was, hey, Instant Book is great, but I don't want it 2 days before check-in, or if someone's doing, the day of check-in, I don't want to have Instant Book. I actually want to make sure that I am able to support that. So that's happening right now. That's not live yet, but we're going to add the exact same UI element for Instant Book going forward. Next one, house rules. Here's what those look like. So you can actually see in the bottom of this image, we've added a footer. And so for Direct Premium, you have terms and conditions for those that we employ. You're going to have house rules if you've added anything to your property page, or if you had an Airbnb listing connected that had house rules. And you're also going to get a cancellation policy, just bringing better prominence to those articles. They help, have a better guest experience, have more predictability. So those now have more visibility throughout the entire booking flow, as well as on the review and confirm screen. And they can just click on house rules to get a quick heads up on what your policies are as a host. And then finally, Google Vacation Rentals. I'm sorry, I don't have better news for you now. We are still not live. You can see we're now a little over 1,000 properties that say they're 100% live on Google. They're not live yet. We're down to seriously a technicality where our Google Ads account that has to be connected to Hotel Center is blocked through some Google bureaucracy. So our Google Vacation Rentals implementation team is trying to help us sort that out. It's out of our hands, but we are very, very close. As I've told you the last couple of town halls, it's really a technicality. I hope to have this done by the next town hall, if not sooner. But yeah, we're super excited for that, obviously. And last up, just kind of summarizing other items that are in the very near pipeline. So we've done a lot of improvements on alterations. I know several hosts have run into issues with this recently. We're not calculating the price right. Sometimes you can't exactly alter the dates. You've had to reach out to support. We've been spending a lot of time on that. I think most of the issues are debugged. We're going to release a new version, hopefully tomorrow. We were going to do that today, but just got blocked by some infrastructure things. But hopefully by tomorrow, we're going to have a new and improved calculation and a much better experience making alterations to direct bookings. I actually saw there was a question about that in the Q&A so far, but yeah, you will be able to have a better experience altering up or down reservations, adding a guest, etc. And yeah, Instant Book for Direct Basic. Hope to have that out maybe early next week. We're working on that currently. One big update that I do want to draw attention to, we are going to be ending support for sites that don't have payment processing connected. So if you were part of that kind of early batch of direct users before we had payment processing, you published a site and you still haven't set up payment processing, we don't want to support that indefinitely. So I think we're looking at October 1, we're going to be discontinuing support for that. So you do need to set up payment processing, or we're going to have to take the site offline. It's just creating kind of technical debt for us to maintain that. And ideally, it just doesn't fit with what we want to do with direct. It's, if you don't have payment processing on your site, it's not a good guest experience. It's a diminished host experience. And it really doesn't match with our mission statement of Hospitable, which is to save host time. We want you to have that set up. There's a small exception if you are somewhere where we do not have payment support. So if you're in an area that is not supported by Stripe or by Direct Premium again is live in the US and Australia. We're going to be working on the UK and Canada very soon, potentially on a longer term, all of continental Europe will have premium access. Stripe is in 37 countries. If you're not in that area, we are going to be giving you access to like what we're calling Direct Lite, which is just the sites, but that's not what we want the experience to be. That's only because we can't support in those countries. So just a heads up on that, we'll be contacting hosts that have published sites that don't have payment processing soon and letting you know what you can do to correct that. Otherwise, new payout history page, I think that's going to be out this week, giving you better tracking on adjustments that happen, cancellations, refunds, and having a better better clarity on your payments, what's happening on those. And then the roadmap that we're just getting started with soon after those items get released, adjustments, giving you the ability to have ad hoc fees and refunds, quotes that we've talked about on previous town halls, and all of the updates for midterm stays. So the payment installments, I think, is the big one there. So letting hosts pay over a schedule rather than have to pay for everything up front. We know that's not a great experience currently. We just need a little bit of time to get to it. And I think that's all of the direct updates.
Cool. All right, I think I'm up. Let's see. I'll start with the usual smart lock update. Quick note on this, though. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I have in the past. Yesterday, Alyssa and Chris from our team hosted a really awesome smart lock Q&A. Some of these questions were answered. So if you do have any specific smart lock questions and we're not able to get to them in the Q&A today, you can go on our YouTube channel and watch that Q&A that was hosted yesterday. A quick update on our migration process. So over the past several weeks, we've been in the process of migrating from an old Schlage integration partner to a new Schlage integration partner. The great news is everybody now has the ability to migrate. We had been going through kind of like a slow rollout phase where we were adding a handful of users every couple of days. Now everybody has the option. That's really great. We've worked through several bugs and issues, have been able to jump on those pretty quickly. So there's 907 of you that still need to migrate. 1,300 of you already have. So if you're wondering, am I one of the 907? You will know. The first way you'll know is there's a pink banner within your Hospitable account that says action required. You just need to follow those steps to connect to the new Schlage integration. We're also going to start bothering you a lot more over the next couple of weeks because we are requiring that you migrate to the new Schlage integration if you have the old one by August 30th. That's because we're going to be winding down our relationship with the old partner that we were using, and we need to turn those integrations off on August 31st. So if something comes up, if you don't get to this by August 30th and your integration with Schlage is removed, you can always just come in and reconnect your account. We just don't want you to feel like you're put in an urgent situation on August 31st where you have to do that. So please do migrate as soon as you have the opportunity. Again, you'll see this banner and you'll be getting a flurry of emails from us to make sure that you know exactly what you need to do, follow the steps in that process, and you will be good to go. All right. Hopefully I only have to talk about that one more time in our next town hall, which is really exciting. We're glad to put that migration process behind us. Next, let's talk about channel connectivity. So for the past several months, we've been working on some ongoing Verbo improvements. And today I have some really good news, some really encouraging numbers to report. We have seen, because of the work we've been doing over the past several months, a huge decrease in disconnection rates. So I just threw the numbers from our past 4 months up here, but a really stark difference between April and July. So these numbers represent a user who was disconnected and not immediately reconnected within the month. So in April, it was half of you. And in July, just 8%. So that's a huge improvement. We are not expecting to ever see zero here. Several town halls ago, we talked about why that is and why how our Verbo integration works. But 8% is a huge improvement, and we're really happy for that. We've also seen a huge increase in our ability to reconnect you to Verbo without actually requiring any action from you. So it's kind of baked into these numbers here, but basically some of you might get disconnected and we're actually able to reconnect you and you don't even really have to do anything, which is really great. So a big increase in those numbers. So positive news all around. The thing that we're going to be focusing on next is implementing a small delay for the email alerts when you are disconnected. Why is that? So I just talked about how for a huge percentage of our users, we're able to reconnect without requiring any action, but we're still actually telling you that the account is disconnected. So your Verbo account gets disconnected, we immediately send an email, and then like seconds later, we might actually reconnect without you needing to do anything. So we're kind of creating these false alarms by sending these emails too soon. So we're gonna just give a tiny delay here, try to reconnect you a couple of times. If that doesn't work, then we'll notify you when you actually need to take action. So we can kind of align that moving forward and know that if you get an email, you do actually need to check rather than creating this false alarm situation. All right, we can move on from Verbo now. Cool, fun update, platform-specific colors in the calendar. This has been something that's requested for a long time, and it's just something we frankly never got to. And so we're excited to be able to do this. Yep, look at your multi-calendar or your calendar, and you actually have the option to opt in to see these platform-specific colors in the calendar. Because this is kind of a big visual change, we wanted to allow you to opt in and opt back out if it's something that you don't love. So if you go to your calendar now and everything's one color, you'll see the option actually to opt in. Do that, check it out, try it out. Again, if you don't love it, opt out. And this will give us some really good data behind whether or not you guys enjoy these different colors. So we can make a decision on whether or not we keep this in our product moving forward. Next, okay, we've talked a lot about search in the last couple of town halls. We have command bar, which is Command K and allows you to search globally from anywhere within the product. And then we also have these search bars kind of on specific pages like our inbox, for example. The way that those were working on the back end was actually quite different, and we brought alignment to how this works behind the scenes. So the really good thing here is that we haven't gotten rid of your search bar and how you're used to using that, but now we're allowing you to search for more things and get better results. I think the best example of this is within the inbox. You can now not only just search for the guest name, but you can also search for their phone number, the last 4 digits of their phone number, their email, or their reservation code. So it's just really nice. It's a lot faster than it used to be because we're powering it by a different thing on the back end. So you can expect to get results here in just a second or two. So that's really exciting, and we're continuing to improve the search there as well. And for our power users who want to learn a new trick, do Command K or Control K for those of you on Windows. See all the options in there. You can really do a bunch of different hotkeys to kind of help you navigate through the product. And it's really fun, especially if you're a user who has a lot of properties and needs to get to a page really quickly, and you don't necessarily want to spend all the time clicking. Cool. All right, on to some new apps. We have 3 new apps to announce today, which is really cool. We're starting to partner up with a lot more products that are built and designed to serve our same audience, these hosts, you guys. So we're really excited to announce partnerships with Clearing, DAC, and RankBreeze. I'll just talk a little bit about each of these integrations, and there's more coming down the line, which is really great. So Clearing is a trust accounting and automated bookkeeping software tailored for short-term vacation rental managers. So you can integrate with Clearing, and we're going to be sending reservation details to Clearing as well as financial information, and they will handle the automated bookkeeping element of that. So there's a help article that you can check out for more information. And if you're interested in working with Clearing and checking out their product, you can contact them directly about getting set up. Then we have DAC. They're an all-in-one mobile-first guest experience platform. So they create reservation-specific links that you can send to guests so they can do online check-in, create guidebooks, a variety of different things. They really have a lot of great features. So with this integration, we are sending reservation details to DAC, and they're working their magic with it. And last but not least, we have RankBreeze. So RankBreeze is a dynamic pricing and listing optimization platform. They have a variety of different things you can do within RankBreeze. The way that we're integrating with them is with their dynamic pricing. So we're excited to offer you yet another dynamic pricing tool to choose from. I know we've got a lot now, which is really great. So integrations with RankBreeze will allow RankBreeze control over your Hospitable calendar so that they can set pricing dynamically on Hospitable, and we'll push that to all of your platforms from there. Yeah, I think that's all I got for today. If there are any other integrations you guys are wanting, please post that in the chat. Again, we're adding partners really quickly, and every day we're excited to provide you with more. So if there's anything you haven't seen yet that you're looking to see, post it in the chat and we can do our part to reach out to those other partners. Miles.
Thank you very much, Emily. Cool. So now we are moving into question and answer time. I noticed that there was a bunch of people using the chat function to ask questions. please, if you can, just use the Q&A functionality at the bottom of your screen. It is an easier way for us to see those questions and respond to them. A lot of stuff gets lost in the chat. Everyone's saying hello to each other and what have you. So we do have our first caller. So Yash, I'm going to invite you now on stage to say hello and ask us your question. Yash.
Hey, thank you for letting me talk. So really excited for everything you guys have going on, especially the new integrations. My only question is really regarding the clearing integration. What I've noticed is I manually do the finances for my properties using the CSV output you guys have, but the fields you guys give, the view is different for Airbnb and Vrbo versus booking.com. Like the way I have to add different fields to get to what I see as my total payout through booking.com. Have you worked with clearing to make sure that across all three of the platforms and then Google Vacation Rentals, when you have it up, that it'll be exactly how we're seeing it come to the platform itself?
Yeah, I can take this question. It's a really good question. So last town hall, I talked about this a little bit, but the short answer is yes. We kind of acknowledge that our public API is a little behind what you guys are expecting. And so we have some projects in the works right now, which we're hoping to be ready soon, which is going to, one, offer more data in the public API, specifically around finances, and also bring alignment to all of those things. It's a tricky problem to solve because, like you said, like Airbnb, booking.com, and Vrbo all call these different things. They all calculate them differently, but we're kind of doing our work on the back end to make sure that the numbers actually reported mean the same things and are calculated in the same way. So yes, we've been working alongside a lot of our integration partners, specifically the ones in FinTech, to make sure that we can get to a good solution here that gives you guys what you expect.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks. That was my only question.
Cool. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Yash. So next up, we have Lauren. Lauren, hello. Welcome you on stage.
Hello. Thank you for having me. So I have two questions. They may both be ones that need to be handled kind of offline, but since I'm here, I'm just going to ask them anyway. So my first question is with the Slage integration. I've been having an issue. I reported it to support a few times where if I connect a second Slage lock or a Slage account, any unconnected, unmatched locks from the first Slage account disappear. So it's only showing me the unmatched locks from the second account. So, or from the one that was most recently connected. So that's a big pain point, and I would love an update on that if you guys have one. My second question is, I'm working on actually splitting some of my units out into a second portfolio. I want to put them on a separate Hospitable account. And I was told that there's basically no help available for kind of speeding that migration along on the back end, at least for messages. They basically said I just have to recreate all of them. I'm hoping I may have been misled and there actually is some help with that. But if there is, I would love for someone to reach out to me to help me get that set up. That would be great.
Hey, Lauren, Jen here. Yeah, the first issue is definitely a bug of something. We're looking into that for you. So we don't have an update, but we will definitely let you know. And then the second around, I'm sorry, I didn't fully catch the
That's okay. It was a lot. I said a lot of things. I probably should have stopped the first issue and let you answer and then come back. So basically, I need to split my Hospitable portfolio. It's currently in one account. And I'm going to be leaving one of my large clients. And so their properties, I need to split into a separate Hospitable account. I asked for help. I only asked for help specifically with, can you help me migrate messages?
Got it. Okay.
But I would actually, I mean, I'd love for help with everything, migrating it to another account on the back end. But I was basically told that I just have to copy and paste and recreate the messages like manually for every single instance. And it's a lot. I probably have like hundreds of custom codes. So hoping for some help from you guys.
Yeah. We don't have like a magic button to do that, but I'll chat you after the town hall. For folks who do have like a lot of messages and properties, we essentially just need to know which messages, and we can kind of write a script to do that. So it's not something we like offer right off the bat because it's still manual work for us. But yeah, we can definitely help you out there. We just need to know
That's
which
fair.
specific
I
messages.
appreciate the
get
help.
you all
I mean,
set.
I figured it wasn't a standard thing, but it's like over 100, almost 100 properties I'm trying to move.
Oh,
and
sure.
Yeah,
we can figure that work for sure.
So yeah. All right, I'll message you. Thanks, Jen.
Cool.
Perfect. Thank you very much for jumping in, Jen, and thank you for your questions, Lauren. Cool. So next person with a hand raised, we have Nate. Hello, Nate. Welcome on stage. Hello, Nate. You've successfully unmuted. Would you like to ask your question? That's a no from Nate. There you go. We'll put Nate on pause as Thomas has now raised their hand. So Thomas, I'm going to invite you on stage instead. Hello, Thomas.
Hey guys, I joined a few minutes late, so I really apologize if this was in the first few minutes. But I just wanted to see where we are with Google Vacation Rentals.
Well, that was more than a few minutes, Thomas.
I was like 8 minutes late. Come on.
I talk quickly. Sorry. Yeah, it's not great news. It's not live, but we're down to like a technicality at the moment. So it's basically like we have to have this like separate Google Ads account connected to our Google Vacation accounts to go live. And that got suspended for some reason, just getting a brand new account set up. And so we're like in the back hallways of Google bureaucracy at the moment, trying to find someone to unlock the door for us. And then we should be okay. So I'm hoping to have better news for you by the next town hall.
No, it was just curiosity, but thanks for repeating that for me. And sorry to everyone else who had to listen to it twice.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a sore point. I didn't want to bring it up again. Thanks, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Thomas. So just looking at our chat now, we just did a question from Stephanie. We actually teased in our newsletter, apologies product team, I probably should have warned you about this. So we kind of teased the widget integration with Wix. Maybe Andrew, could you touch on that, the new ability to use widgets?
No. Yeah, so we did announce this last week, and then we just shared it in our change log as well more recently. But there is a solution. I think we've got maybe a couple dozen hosts that have custom sites that they did in Wix. If you did that, our booking widget previously did not work. You can now go to our support docs, so our help center docs. Just search Wix, W-I-X. And you can find detailed instructions. Our engineer, Ben, did a great job. There's a Loom video for you. You can watch step-by-step guide, as well as everything typed out if you're not into video. So you can get that set up now. It's a little complicated. So follow the steps closely and you should have a working solution when you're done.
Cool. Thank you very much, Andrew, for covering that off. So we don't actually have any more hands raised at the moment. So just a reminder, folks, if you do want to ask a question on stage, use the reaction button at the bottom of your screen and then use the raise hand button under there. We do, however, have a question from Facebook, from our live stream there. Any plans for smart home integrations to trigger routines based on guest check-in times, etc.? Andrew, Emily, any timeline on smart home?
No timeline. That is something though that's like pretty exciting to us, and I think with our moves towards getting more and more integration partners, I'm sure that you'll see some smart devices crop up on that. But frankly, we don't have planned, at least in the near term, a way to control that from directly within Hospitable. But I do think you'll see some of those integrations come down the line, which can help you. I guess this is coming from Facebook, so you probably can't post in the chat. But if you have specific devices that you're interested in integrating, let us know. We're keeping a detailed list of all these requests from our hosts so that we can reach out to the companies and start working towards a partnership there.
They can post in the comments on Facebook, and I'll pass that on to Emily as well. So please let us know on that, folks. Cool. So we do have Nate back with a hand raised. So Nate, I'm going to allow you to talk again.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. Awesome. So I had two questions. One was, I think I asked in the Q&A section as well. that Andrew kind of commented on. One of the ways that I was trying to leverage direct booking was to kind of get my existing guests that want to rebook onto direct booking to kind of save that 20% or so in pricing. What I've seen with the taxes added on, the pricing difference is very, very negligible. So I'm wondering if you guys have any plans to allow the host to kind of not collect those taxes and just pay it out of host side rather than collect it from the guests, right? Because that's how Airbnb has it, where they just pay the occupancy tax. And I think I could be wrong, but I think Hospitable is adding like the sales tax and whatever other taxes are there, and it's bumping the price up significantly.
Yeah, so like I said in my comment, I can check for your specific location.
Yeah.
We do use tax software, and so we tell if sales tax is liable, then collect sales tax. We have to be involved in the decision on direct premium because we're the merchant of record, and so we also have kind of shared liability in making sure that taxes that need to be collected are collected. So I'll look into it. You shared your properties with me. If it's the case that sales tax should be collected on your transactions, then I think what you can do to correct that is then say, okay, I'm going to do my markup rates for Airbnb for say it's a 6% sales tax. I'll add 6% because I'm actually been losing, I've been paying, you should be, if you're liable, you've been paying that sales tax on your own then, but it's just not been collected in the reservation. So that's a way to kind of then make them comparable. But if it is liable, we can't let you turn it off because we're liable for collecting that. So yeah, if Airbnb is not collecting it, it may be the case that we can turn it off, but that requires a bit of investigation on our side, and then we can do that. So I'm going to look into that. I've made a note already. I've got your properties, and I'll take a look and get back to you.
Awesome. And then the second question is, this is something that I think I've asked support a long time ago, and this is more of a product thing, I guess. For the love of God, could you guys please make sure that the mobile app doesn't sign us off every 28 days? I would love to use the mobile app as much as I could, but I'll be honest, right now it's a toss-up between do I have to relog in, or do I have can I actually access it? I think the comment that I was made when I made the support was that for security purposes, it's 28 days. I don't know how accurate that is, considering Airbnb doesn't sign me off of my Airbnb app, neither does any of my other applications. So using the Hospitable app on the phone, it's honestly half the time it's a toss up. Do I have to re-put all my information in? My password isn't, password one, right? So I have a pretty strong password. So having to type that out on a phone is kind of annoying. Yeah. So I often end up going to just using the Airbnb app itself rather than the Hospitable app.
No, we hear you. And that is something, we keep, unfortunately, not having resources to look at it, but it's the case is that we're not actually a native app in that sense. We're just a wrapper on the website. And so the authentication is a little bit more difficult than it is on your Airbnb app, which is a native app. We've had some bad experiences with native apps in the past, as far as Apple kind of shutting us down when they wanted to, take a percentage of all of the revenue through our SaaS product. That's a long history we don't have to go into. But yeah, the issue is understood that it's obviously not ideal for hosts. And I'll do what I can to bump it up. We just haven't had the resources to try and figure out if there is a better position we can take on a web app to honestly make a more durable authentication.
Even a remember me would be helpful, because right now it's a bit of a mystery to me, because I'll get a message from Hospitable for a guest in an inbox message, so I'll see the message, or at least I'll see the preview of the message, but I can't really do anything with the message, right? Because as soon as I hit it, it's if I'm logged in, yeah, cool, but half the time after whatever that 28 days is, it logs me out. So even if it's something like a remember me where it can just pre-populate my stuff, I'll be happy.
No, that's nice context to have. Thank you for sharing that.
Andrew, I'm surprised your official answer wasn't just set your password to password. Just kidding. That's never going to be our official answer.
I'm such a password dork. I would never say that. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate you raising that.
Cool. Thank you very much, Nate. So moving on now, we have two Andrews in the queue with hands raised. So I'm slightly worried that we've got the same Andrew on two devices. So let's see which one will work. But maybe it's two different Andrews. Hello, Andrew.
Yeah. The first time I did it, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I did it, I didn't hit raise hand. I hit the wave, and I was like, "Oh, that's not the right thing." So both Vera and Jen have helped me in the past. They're both incredible. You guys have a great culture over there. I just got to say that. Very helpful. Always so helpful. So thank you so much. Direct booking. So first question, I only have two questions. First question, to collect a security deposit, it appears that you have to do that offline and outside of Hospitable. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we don't currently have security deposits in direct. We're using damage protection instead. But we do intend to offer damage deposits in the future. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was already kind of thinking, like, because we have had a few direct bookings come through, and I opted not to deal with collecting a deposit offline. But so you're saying the damage protection is our fail-safe, right? Like if there's a problem.
Right. So if you're using direct premium, then every single reservation is getting a $5 million damage protection policy. Our experience so far with that is it's a little bit of a cumbersome solution. Like you do have to provide evidence when you have damages. And it's like for small claims, it's overkill. If we haven't had a big claim yet, but if there was, it would be fantastic because you have $5 million of protection. But what we've seen so far is like $100, $300 damages. And it's just a little bit too much of a rigmarole to go through. And so because of that, we are looking at a damage deposit and damage waiver solution that you can offer. Some hosts have also mentioned that they really enjoy the revenue they get from a damage waiver policy. So we'd like to provide that as well as a revenue optimization strategy for direct. So that's coming. But you are covered.
Okay, so you're saying it's pretty much ironclad as long as you have evidence and stuff, but it's a lot to go through for a small claim. That
so they're gonna want a lot of photos, ideally before and after photos. They want you to kind of like give them a timestamp. So if you take it like on your iPhone, then take a picture from a screenshot from the photo gallery. You've got a timestamp. They want to make a pretty solid case, and then we've seen already 2 payouts from it out of 3 claims. 1 claim was not actually damage. It was like a fine. And so I don't know if we're going to have success with that, but the 2 that claim damage have already been paid out or are in the process of getting their payments right now. Overall, it's the hassle is we're trying to avoid for small claims, but you're covered.
Okay, cool. And in the future though, you said we will have security deposit collection at some point, right? If we
want to give you the option as a direct host that on your option, you can turn on either damage deposits or damage waivers, or the option for the guest to choose if they want to have the, either option.
Now, would the guest be paying that, let's say it's a $500 damage deposit, would that be added to their booking or would it just be like a hold on their card?
Just a hold on their card, I believe, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Okay, so that's fine. Ahead of yourself, but okay, cool. I was just curious. So second thing, very quickly, I think you guys are doing a great job rolling out direct. Some of our bigger dollar people are saving a lot of money. We've only got a few direct
awesome.
bookings. Yeah, I mean, awesome. When we have a $5,500, $5,600 booking come through VRBO, they're paying almost $1,000 in fees, and so we've had some success with some repeat people. But so I have the MailChimp integration working with Hospitable, and it's great because the emails just get deposited into my MailChimp account automatically. But so it appears that we only get emails from VRBO, correct? Not from Airbnb. Is that right?
Yeah, if someone else wants to help out, I think this was a recent Airbnb change that we're no longer getting emails from them. We're getting phone numbers instead, I think. Is anyone clear on that? That wasn't my domain.
So we've never actually gotten the guest actual email. We had been receiving like a proxy email from Airbnb that you could email and then it would get forwarded on to the specific guest. For obvious reasons, Airbnb doesn't.
Right, they don't want to. Right, they don't want it. Right.
Yeah.
They hate this. They hate this.
Yeah. And so what the MailChimp integration does is if the guest shares their email at some point in the context of your conversation with them, we'll detect that and we'll put it on your MailChimp campaign. Yeah,
So
you just have to be very
anytime in
careful
the
about how you
messaging
ask.
thread, so you're saying anytime in the messaging thread they supply their email, it'll automatically go through MailChimp?
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, you answered my question because I was going to try to figure out how to get the emails from these people. And I was like, well, I have their phone numbers, so it doesn't mean we can never contact them. But I'd like to send a newsletter out once a month, a promotion or something. So you answered my question now. We're just going to ask them what their email is when they book, right? Because Airbnb will let their email come through when they're currently booked, correct?
Yes, they do let it come through. Just be careful about your language and your phrasing. If I were you, I would check.
I would say, I would
yeah.
say something like, just to make sure there's no communication breakdowns during your stay, please send your best email. So we have all, that's how I would do it, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great. All right. That's exciting. So whole bunch of people we don't have emails for, give the phone number. All right, great. You guys are doing a great job. I mean, I basically despise like most companies I deal with, tech companies, and you guys are just great. I just, I'm amazed how good your people are. So I'm just gonna say it one more time. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you. And maybe Vera, you had something?
Yep. Just to jump in, you can, even though we don't get emails anymore, we do get historical data in the CSV files. So it might be worth downloading that and just checking for all the emails that are in there. So it might be useful to get at least some, as opposed to.
Okay, I'll take another look at those files. And awesome. Thank you, Vera. I appreciate your help almost a year ago, helping me on board. You were very helpful. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
All right, thanks.
Great. So we only have one more hand raised at the moment, and it's Lauren again. So Lauren, we're going to invite you back on stage to say hello. Hello.
I always have lots of questions, and then you said no one else raised their hand, so I figured I'd raise mine again.
Why not?
I was just asking if there's any update on better reporting or / owners portals for people who manage on behalf of owners.
Yeah, we have good news. Finally, we started development. So yeah, we're doing a little bit of with the recent HR updates. We started the webinar with. We do have resources now for metrics. So we've got one of our top engineers, I would say, has taken on the metrics project, and they're going to start, I think, by kind of what would we call it? Just improving the quality of the data. So we're going through and there's several things that we know either we're not getting the right data or it's not, really reconcilable with what you're seeing on the platform. We're going to start by clearing up that data. And then once that backend work is done to get the APIs in shape, to get the reporting data in shape, then we can do the front end for you guys. And so have like just a completely new view of your metrics, improve CSV exports, as well as really nice presentation of the data. And you'll be able to give views for your owners that they can see for the metrics, so they can see how their properties are performing with all the relevant stats of occupancy, RevPAR, et cetera. So yeah, that is actually in progress now, as opposed to previous town halls when I think it's always been the next thing we're going to work on. So
yeah, it's been a long time coming. That's great news. Yeah. I know you guys hate timelines, and I won't hold you to it, but is there any rough idea on when you're hoping to have that at least in beta?
I don't think we should say that.
I mean, are we talking years? Like
no,
next year?
No, it's that's a good way to get me to say a date, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's
less than a year.
Yeah.
There you go, Andrew. Less than a year.
I had a lot of
October-ish
qualifications. I just need a rough idea.
Is October-ish a month?
For me, I have like 40 clients, so this is like probably my most painful thing with Hospitable, and so it's just helpful to know like how much long the pain is going to last. Yeah,
I would guess October-ish.
I promise I won't hold you to it. Thank you.
The recording will, though, Andrew. I'm just going to put it out there.
That ish is doing a lot of work.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much again, Lauren. Cool. So yeah, at the moment we don't have any more hands raised. So please, folks, if you do have any questions, we have about 10 minutes left. So if you do have any questions you would like to raise with our team, feel free to raise your hand or use the Q&A function to let us know. Likewise on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, if you've got any questions, you can use the comment section. I am keeping an eye on them and raising those questions here, if there are any.
I could vibe on something that maybe from Andrew's comment, talking about emails and emails off platform. Like one of the things that we've kind of been thinking about how to do is offering like a way to message off platform within the inbox. So if you have an Airbnb reservation and you get an email and you'd like to communicate via email instead of via the Airbnb app, but still have that communication in the inbox thread, as well as SMS. I kind of going to get in trouble dangling these things in front of you, but if anyone had any comments on that, if that works for you, if that's an exciting thing to be able to send email and SMS within the inbox thread, but not through the platform, I'd be curious to hear some comments on that. That would be great. Another thing is, since we have some people here, if you want to tell us about your experiences with Zapier, how many people are using Zapier? I think Emily had a question about that today. We can ask you guys questions now, right? We're allowed to do that.
That works. I mean, Lauren's coming back on, probably asking for a firm date on that now that you've dangled it. Lauren, what do you have for us?
No, I'm just answering his question.
Okay, good.
I would love SMS. For me would be really valuable. Email probably not as much, just because I don't know. In my experience, email and then the platform, the app are, for most guests, are roughly equivalent. But SMS would be really nice to have that as well. That also reminded me of an issue. It's not huge. It's not a deal breaker, but and I'm sure you guys already know about it. But we can't send files through Hospitable through the platform right now. We have to we have to log into Airbnb and send them directly to a guest. Like if they ask for, I don't know, whatever, proof of something, we can't send any pictures or anything through Hospitable, or at least I can't. That might be a bug just for my account, but just bringing that up.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good thing to shout. And then, so SMS, would your expectation be that like once you switch to SMS, the rest of the conversation would be naturally taking place for SMS? Would you like set like a preference channel for a reservation?
Well, I've used some other PMS systems that had SMS integrations in the past, and I used it honestly to like ask for contact info for mailing lists and things like that, because I just want to. Emily was saying, be careful how you ask, and I would just rather remove all risk of Airbnb ever seeing that. So that's what I mostly used SMS for, was just for like automated messages, asking them for contact info and stuff like that. It's also nice to be able to, like text them a guidebook or something that they can just see right there on their phone. But for me, I probably wouldn't take the whole conversation to text. There's just like a few things that I would want to use it for.
Okay, cool. That's helpful. Yeah, I'm just thinking of how the UI should look as far as that goes, and how often you'd be switching between channels. But yeah, thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Andrew, there was another host who'd mentioned WhatsApp. So another channel to consider when we talk about direct messaging to guests. SMS and WhatsApp.
WhatsApp would be helpful. Because I have hidden issues sometimes where we have people calling or texting from international numbers, and we can't always respond to them, but they often have WhatsApp. And so we could reach out there if that was possible.
Yeah, that would be good. We actually had an engineer that just kind of hacked out a version of WhatsApp on their own to work. So yeah, we have a proof of concept. I don't think that's how we would actually do it, but yeah, we would love to do all that. Yeah.
Thank you again, Lauren. We do have a couple other people wanting to comment as well. Ruth, sorry. Just inviting you on stage now. Hello, Ruth. Would you like to unmute? Might have been an accidental hand raise. So we'll just pause Ruth for a second and we'll go to Monique. Hello.
Hi there.
Hey.
So hopefully this is a quick question. So you know how we have messages that go out to our operations team, whether that's a cleaning person or a gardener or somebody that takes care of trash, and the system kind of generates that based off of different use codes or whatever parameters based on what you guys already have. Do you guys have in the pipeline something where we can maybe do like scheduled messages, like not what you already have set up, but like say we want to remind something our cleaner of something that's going on Thursday, and it's maybe every week on Thursday, but also maybe it's like a one-off, and we still want to communicate through Hospitable and have that messaging go through the, the operations log. And maybe it's just like, hey, this thing is happening on this day, and we can like maybe write a scheduled message and have it, set up in that way. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I think so. Yeah, there are day of the week messaging rules that you can set up for your team, for your like cleaning team. Is that what you're kind of looking to do? Like every Thursday there's a street sweeping or something, or
that's something we can already do in Hospitable.
Yeah, so there are day of the week notification rules you can set up that would basically it's a day of the week task. So you can set up a task that would happen every Thursday, say, and then you can set up notifications to tell your team about that task.
Okay, so that's using tasks. Does that do like a text reminder?
Yes, you can. Or you could set up a task. I can't talk right now, and that's the best to send a notification that task has been assigned to that teammate.
Okay, so that's for like a weekly thing that's going on. Okay, I'll take a look at that. I don't know why I couldn't figure that one out then. Maybe I was just looking in the wrong area. Okay, and what about like any one-offs, like if we wanted to do some kind of scheduled message, or here's another thing that I thought of while using it. Like, what if we wanted to schedule a message for a guest even? Have you guys thought of that? Like saving it for a future date, like, hey, this needs to go out?
Yeah, so there isn't like one-off way to do that. There are day of the week messaging rules for guests as well. So if there's like a reoccurring thing, you can set that up. But if it's for this like particular guest, I know I'm going to want to send this in the future. No, because it's so unique.
Okay. So I need to take a look at that task thing then. Okay. I'm disappointed in myself that I hadn't figured that out yet.
No, it's probably on us.
I think it's on us. The operations is not easy to figure out. And I think there is a catch here for you, is that we don't have a way to send a reminder about a task. You can send a notification about a task being created. You can send a notification about a check-in, but we don't actually have a way to send a reminder about a task. So if you're looking for an SMS to go out like every Thursday about that task, that is not going to be possible. So I don't think you're missing that.
Okay,
if
that's
that is
what I'm talking about. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I would look at Turno. You actually have a free subscription to Turno when you use Hospitable, and they have much more advanced features. I'd be highly surprised if that's something they couldn't do for you.
Okay. So that's not something that you guys have kind of on your log or radar as to like build into Hospitable at the moment?
No, not at the moment. I did take notes on your suggestions, and they're great suggestions. But yeah, we're not optimizing right now for the operations side of the product. That was part of the deal we made with Turno. Was we did recognize that they were ahead of us on operations, and so we wanted you to be able to manage your cleaning team within operations if Hospitable's product was not meeting all of your needs. So that is something you could look into. I think eventually we'll get back to operations, but at this time for like the rest of this year, I think there's not a lot of resources available for us on the operations side of the product.
Okay, yeah, no problem. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's it. I'll jump off.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monique. Andrew, there was one question in Q&A around promotions for direct. Specifically, they were asking around percentage discounts. Maybe you can just give a quick overview of what's currently available with promotions for direct. I'm sure there'll be a couple of people here that are interested in that if they missed the previous town hall.
Yeah, those were the previous town hall. I think we announced the launch of the promo codes, and we're starting only with fixed amount promo codes. For a couple of reasons that I can go into very briefly. But right now you can set, like a dollar denominated discount of say $100, and you can set lots of restrictions. So you can control, the minimum night stay to activate that promo code, the range of dates they can book during their stay, the expiration date, the total value, max. Sorry, that's for percentage. The minimum value for the booking, etc. Those are all optional restrictions that you can add to a promo code. You can create many of them. So, if you want to kind of have them work with different, like $100 if you book 3 nights, $200 if you book 4 nights, $300, you can set those up and create different codes. They can share codes. You can track, the performance of those promo codes as you use them. But we don't have percentage codes right now. And the reason was, that there's been a push, especially from these town halls, to work towards kind of bundling fees together for direct. So it is like a fee-free channel. So we don't have, right now we have a guest service fee we break out. If you have a cleaning fee, we break that out. We've had feedback from hosts that they want to bundle those together and just have a nice, neat quote that we generate, and direct is your fee-free channel. That makes it even more difficult though to do percentage-based discounts, because if you tell your guests they get 10% off, and that 10%, if you want it to work like it does with Airbnb, where it really is only on the nightly rate, then it doesn't become very easy for the guest to do their own math and say, oh, I thought I had 10% off, and it looks like it's only 4% of this bill, because they can't see the cleaning fee, the guest service fee, the other things that doesn't apply to. And so we kind of got stuck on that, and we figured we'd start just with fixed fees for now. And yeah, I'm curious on how big of a priority it is for people to have percentage-based fees. We've gotten a little feedback from people so far. I think we will get to it. But for that complexity, it becomes like the UI for direct booking gets a little more complicated, and you have to explain that this only applies to a certain fee. Like we're kind of reluctant to really prioritize that right now because of that complexity.
Great. And just to be clear, sorry, I was just going to say, and just to be clear, that's shown in the booking flow, basically that discount. It's easy for them to see that discount on the pricing, right? Just Daniel checking that.
Yeah. So once you activate it, once you have an active promo code for any property, if they're on the booking flow for that property, they'll see a little reminder that says, hey, do you have a discount code? We try and be subtle about it. And then they can click on that, enter the code, and we'll validate that code. And I think we're running out of time, but yeah, there was one question about split pay. That's on the agenda for us for direct premium. We do have the ability to do that, and we will get to that after the next few projects that we covered in this town hall. It's not on the near-term roadmap right now, but we are going to get there.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Andrew. And as Andrew said, we are actually kind of overtime here. I'm sure we've all got important meetings to get to, as do a lot of our attendees. So I think we are going to have to wrap it there for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much for your questions. We hope you've enjoyed the updates today from our team. You can find us in the same place in the same time in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, these are regular recurring events. So we hope to see you again soon in 2 weeks' time. Look out inside the Hospitable, in your Hospitable account for updates on when the next event is. You'll see it at the top of the dashboard. Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.